Milo had one gold coin left. Just one. He held it in his small fist and looked at the ticket window. Above the window was a wooden sign. Road home. Behind Milo, the fairground was closing. The puppet show had folded its curtains. The sweet seller was packing away his jars. The painted horses had stopped turning. And far away, beyond the last red hill, the desert was growing dark. Milo swallowed. "Maybe I can walk," he whispered. His friend Luma stared at him. "Across that road?" Milo nodded, but not very bravely. Luma pointed to the ticket window. "Milo, buy the ticket." Milo opened his fist and looked at the coin. It was warm from his hand. "But it is my last one," he said. Luma's voice became softer. "That is why you must use it well." That morning everything had been different. The sun had risen over the palace gardens, bright and gold. The king had called 2 children to the marble steps. One was Luma. The other was Milo. The king smiled at them both and gave each child a little blue purse. Inside each purse were 24 gold coins. Milo gasped. "All these are for us?" "For the journey," said the king. Luma held her purse carefully with both hands. "Where are we going?" The king pointed beyond the hills. "To my garden house. It is far away, but I have prepared a place for you. On the road there will be a station. At the station you can buy a ticket. With the ticket, the road becomes easy." Milo shook his purse and grinned at the sound. Clink, clink, clink. "What if we spend a few coins first?" The king looked at him kindly. "You may buy what is useful. You may enjoy what is good. But remember the road. Keep enough for the ticket." Luma nodded. Milo nodded too, but his eyes were already looking past the gate. Outside the palace the town was awake. Bright flags flew from the roofs. Music jumped through the streets. Children ran with paper kites. A man with a tall hat called, "Come and see the dancing boxes." Another cried, "Honey cakes, warm honey cakes." Milo's eyes grew round. "Luma, look." Luma smiled. "I see, but first I want to buy bread for the road." "Bread?" said Milo. "That sounds boring." "Boring things can be useful," Luma said. Milo laughed. "Useful things can wait." So Luma went to the baker. She bought bread, water, and a little lamp. She counted her coins after each purchase. Milo watched for a moment, then heard the music again. Tap, tap, tap went the drum. Round and round spun the painted horses. The ticket master at the little ride waved at him. 1 coin for a ride. Milo touched his purse. 1 ride would not hurt, so he paid 1 coin. The horse went up, the horse went down. Milo laughed until his cheeks hurt. When it stopped, he said, "Again." Another coin went out. Then he smelled honey cakes, 1 coin. Then he saw a red whistle, 1 coin. Then a little mirror that made his nose look enormous, 1 coin. Luma came back carrying her bread and lamp. "Are you counting?" "Of course," said Milo. He had not been counting. A boy with silver bells on his shoes came dancing by. "There is a shadow play in the next street," the boy said. "Only 2 coins." Milo looked at Luma. Luma looked at Milo's purse. "The station is still ahead," she said. "I know," said Milo. "But we are not there yet." So Milo went to the shadow play. The shadows became giants, then birds, then a tiny king who lost his crown and found it in a soup pot. Milo laughed so loudly that everyone turned to look. When he came out, the sun had climbed higher. Luma was waiting by the fountain. She handed him a cup of water. "Thank you," said Milo. "How many coins now?" Milo opened his purse. He moved the coins with 1 finger. "How many?" "Enough." Luma did not argue. She only said, "The road is longer than the morning." Milo rolled his eyes. "You sound like the palace teacher." Then he heard cheering. At the end of the street, a man had set up a game with painted cups. "Find the golden bead," the man shouted. "Win 10 coins." Milo ran over. Luma followed slowly. "Milo," she said, "games like that are tricky. But if I win, I will have more than before." "And if you lose?" Milo grinned. "Then I will win next time." He did not win. He tried once, then twice, then 3 times. Each time, the bead was somewhere else. Each time, another coin left his purse. At last, Luma touched his sleeve. "Stop." Milo pulled away. 1 more. This time he lost 2 coins. The man with the cup smiled. Bad luck, little traveler. Milo's face became hot. I was close, he said. Luma did not say anything. That made Milo feel worse. The afternoon grew warm. The flags stopped fluttering. The music sounded thinner. The town no longer felt quite so bright. Luma sat under a tree and opened her little book of directions from the king. Milo blew his red whistle. Peep! Luma covered one ear. Does that help on the road? Milo looked at the whistle. It is fun. I know, said Luma. But does it help? Milo did not answer. He put the whistle in his pocket and kicked a stone. Soon they reached the last street of the town. Beyond it stood the station. It was small and white, with a green roof and a bell. Behind the station, the desert began. No music came from there. No flags, no honey cakes. Only sand, wind, and a road that seemed to go on forever. Luma walked straight to the ticket window. 1 ticket for the road home, please. The ticket keeper smiled. 1 gold coin. Luma paid. The ticket keeper gave her a bright paper ticket with a golden mark on it. He also gave her a small lantern. For the dark places, he said. Luma bowed her head. Thank you. Then Milo stepped forward. He opened his purse. His smile disappeared. He shook it. Only 1 coin fell into his palm. Clink. 1. Milo stared at it. The ticket keeper waited. Luma stood beside him. The desert wind blew dust across Milo's shoes. 1 ticket, said the ticket keeper gently, costs 1 coin. Milo closed his hand. It is my last coin. Yes, said Luma. If I spend it, I will have nothing. Luma pointed to the road. If you do not spend it, you will have no ticket. Milo looked back at the town. The fairground was dim now. The painted horses were covered. The honey cakes were gone. The shadow play tent was folded like a sleeping bird. All those coins had become yesterday, even though the day was not over. Milo whispered, I spent so much. Luma nodded. You did. The king will be angry. The king is kind, said Luma, but kindness is not a reason to throw away the ticket. Milo's eyes filled with tears. I feel foolish. Luma took his free hand. Then become wise now. The ticket keeper leaned down. Little traveler, many people arrive with less than they should. The sad ones stare at what they wasted. The wise ones use what is still in their hand. Milo looked again at the coin. It was small. The road was long. The choice was quiet. No drums, no cheering, no laughing crowd. Only 1 coin, 1 window, 1 friend, 1 road. Milo placed the coin on the counter. 1 ticket, please. The ticket keeper smiled. The station bell rang. Ding! He gave Milo a ticket with the same golden mark. Then he gave him a small lantern too. Milo held the ticket against his chest. I thought I would feel poorer, he said. Luma smiled. Do you? Look at the desert again. It was still serious, but it no longer looked quite so lonely. No, he said. I feel less lost. The ticket keeper opened the gate. Luma stepped through first. Milo followed. As they walked, the lanterns began to glow. At first, they gave only a little light, just enough for the next few steps, but that was enough. After a while, Milo said, Luma? Yes? Tomorrow, if the king gives me another purse, I will count better. Luma laughed softly. Tomorrow? Yes. And what will you buy first? Milo lifted his lantern. The ticket. Now, this is a story about 2 children, but it is also a story about us. Every morning, God gives us something like a piece of gold. Not metal coins, hours, 24 of them. Some hours are for work, some are for food, some are for washing dishes, answering messages, finding shoes, helping people, resting, learning, and all the small things that fill a day. These things are not bad. Luma bought bread, she bought water, she bought a lamp. The problem was not spending. The problem was forgetting the road. That is what happened to Milo. He did not become careless all at once. He became careless 1 coin at a time, 1 little ride, 1 little game, 1 little later, 1 little I still have enough. And that is how time often leaves us too, not with a shout, with little footsteps. Then prayer appears in the day like the ticket window at the station. It asks for a small part of what God already gave, a few quiet moments, a pause, a turning of the heart, a simple standing before the one who made us, sees us, and calls us home. Prayer is not there to steal the day. It is there to help the day find its road. It is not because God needs our words. It is because we need to remember Him. We need the lantern. We need the ticket. We need the road not to feel ownerless. And when we have wasted time, the story does not say sit down and cry forever. It says, look at what is still in your hand. Maybe the morning is gone. Maybe yesterday was wasted. Maybe many coins have rolled away into noise. But this moment is still here. This prayer is still possible. The window is still open. The King is still kind. So if your heart says, I have no time, remember Milo's purse. If it says, later, remember the station. If it says, I already wasted too much, remember Luma's words. Then become wise now. Because the road is long. The day is precious. And sometimes the smallest faithful choice becomes the light by which we take the next step home. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.